Hi Lisa, thanks for your beautiful intro. I feel a subtle fear that I don't know what this life is and that it makes no sense and that I have no answer to it. Do you know what I mean? I think that more than likely your solar plexus is out of balance, so therefore it's producing these types of thoughts. It comes from the solar plexus. The solar plexus, when it's in balance, is a sense of achievement, a sense that you can do something, that you have choice. I know that sounds ironic because with non-duality it's seen there is no choice, but there is always the feeling of choice. So it doesn't feel like you're living in a cage and that life suddenly is like zzz, 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 zzz. It comes with like the feeling that you choose to drink your drink, and that's how it's designed to feel. Ramesh Balsakar, a teacher of mine, he used to say if it didn't feel like that, then you would feel like a robot. It comes with the appearance of choice. It's just the freedom comes in this energetic movement and seeing that there is no chooser, there is no doer. So the solar plexus is that you can do things, you can choose, you have meaning, that you have purpose. And it's a feeling, it's not so much an idea like, yeah, I have purpose, I'm going to save the whole universe. Like, that's so intellectual. It's like this feeling of empowerment, of love. It's like a feeling of activity, of achievement. Like, so when I wake up in the mornings, not every day, but generally, that this wasn't the case when I was younger. You know, when I left school, I was fucked. They're like, let's get everybody ready for work. By the time I left the education system, I was so like, ugh, and everything exhausted me. Whereas now, and this isn't always the case, that sometimes I wake up tired and can't be bothered, but a lot of the time I just feel like motivated to do things that I want to do, like I do a lot of writing and speaking and doing one-to-one sessions, but there's this energy to contribute, to give, but it's not intellectual, it's like a feeling of positivity. When the solar plexus is in the negative, it's a sense of hopelessness, a sense that you can't do, frustration, a trappedness, a stuckness, meaninglessness, that things won't work out, that you can't achieve it, anger, and at the most extreme, a sense of wanting to die. And then what happens in the personality structure is you can have obsessive or what's the opposite to excessive? It's depleted. So you can have excessive energy in the solar plexus. So somebody, their solar plexus can be disbalanced, so it can be out of harmony, but yet it can have excessive energy. So it's like a character that's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to run the world. I'm going to be the president. I'm going to save everybody. And it's like this excessive energy, and it's very mental. But then it can also be depleted, where it's like low energy, lack of motivation, this fear, like the not going out. So Anna says, yeah, that's good. One hand, there is no sense of choice, and on a deeper level, but the level of the person, there is a belief that I can't manage life. Not always, but sometimes. What do you do when you feel this can't do energy? So it's first of all identifying it. So the reason that I try to get people to identify thoughts with feelings in the body is because your thoughts lie, but your feelings don't. So when you feel that can't do energy, that feeling is very strong in the solar plexus, and it's a very distinct feeling. But your thoughts could tell you lies about it. Your thoughts could go on for 2 days about how you live in an oppressive society, and like going on campaigns, going on Facebook. Yeah, this thing that's happening at the moment is like they're gonna do this, gonna do that, and you can become a rebel. But when you come down to the feeling, you notice that the solar plexus is out of balance, and really that's a reaction against feeling that you can't do, that you're stuck, and you're reacting against society, or reacting against politics, or reacting against your parents or neighbors or friends, and you believe that's true. Especially in your spiritual world, you can really get into the political activism thing. I'm not saying that our society is perfect. Our society is based on separation, so there's obviously problems in it. But most of the time why people are getting obsessed with that is because of a disbalance in their chakras. It's not actually because they're coming from love and they want to change things from love. It's like a contraction and a disbalance. So the great thing about learning about the chakras is the body doesn't lie as to what you're feeling. The mind does. So you can be off on this whole hatred of society, and then maybe we do a session or you just lay in your bed, and when you feel your feelings, you realize that you feel disempowered, and that anger towards society was coming from that disempowerment. And so all these stories that you were creating about society was actually coming from a feeling of I can't do it, which is really crazy. You can see how all of these stories and societies and people are motivated from seeking. And then they really go after it, and then they're fighting for a cause, but actually they're internally going, I can't do it. I'm a failure. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. So the chakras and the body doesn't lie. So when I was with my teacher, Roger, who I've talked about many times, so I just remember him shocking the shit out of me. Not literally, but you can imagine it, that it means that it was quite shocking. I remember we were like he was telling me that I was a particular way, and I was like defending it because I didn't see myself that way. And then he said, but just feel in your body. And then as soon as he said that and I went into my body, I was like, he's right. I didn't want him to know he was right. But I could feel that there was like this anger and this resistance and this like underneath like deep sense of insecurity. And this was really profound for me, this realization that I could have a story about myself, I could have a story about environment, I could be seeking for things or not seeking for things, and that actually wasn't what I wanted, or that actually wasn't what I was feeling. I didn't feel passionately about helping society. It was actually because I felt deeply insecure, for example. And this was so profound for me. And I actually believe that the chakras aren't just in this area. That's what I teach on the internet most of the time because it's the easiest way to teach. When I was with Roger, what he taught me was actually massage, and you actually find that the chakra points and the acupressure points for the chakras, so these are the main centers in the body, are all over the body. So you can massage your wrist and then you can suddenly feel this big sense of insecurity or panic or paranoia, or you can massage your legs and feel it like the stories are in your body. And then these unconscious stories create this seeking that goes out in the world. So the number one thing of how to do this is to just listen to what your body says. So you're getting really passionate about activism, about what's happening in the world, and then you come back to what does the body actually say about that? Like, so if something creates a big emotion in you, then come back to what the body says and just be really honest with yourself. I really feel into it. And ask it questions. And then once you've seen that, you see that that feeling isn't actually you. That feeling presents itself with you because it hides in the body, I can't do, and then it forms this character that's really, say, into activism, into fighting society. So, and then that person identifies with it, like, I'm a rebel, I fight society, I'm against society. I live an alternative life, and it bases a life on that, and it thinks that is who you are, and that's not who you are. It's just the chakras are like street lights going on and off, creating these things, and then we fall into this habit of a person. So then who are you? Who are you is whatever's arising in this moment. It's just wild. And what happens in waking up is like a collapsing back into what is this moment, and that doesn't necessarily mean there's a consistent personality type. The reasons that we have consistent personality types is only for communication. It's like if I present a solid Lisa to people, it makes other people feel comfortable because they think they know who they're relating to. So it's something that evolved as a society. It's not actually a fact. So what you are is whatever you are in that moment. And like, so somebody that's an empath like myself, like realizing that is really beautiful and really liberating, because for myself, I'm so sensitive to my environment. I'm mostly picking up what's around me. So my character, so whoever I am in the moment, is very much determined on who I interact with. So if I interact with a really overly confident person, then more than likely I'll start acting that way. If I am interacting with a shy person, then more than likely I'll start acting that way. Like even now, I get the sense, Anna, and now when I look at your picture, I feel like I know who you are, like you live in a community in Germany, but I only just realized that a few moments ago when I looked at your picture. I didn't really realize that when I first started speaking to you. So when I started bringing up all that activism, I was just tuning into the words and your energy. I wasn't actually saying it with like, oh, I know who this person is. I know he's an activist. Here, I'm going to give activist stuff. Actually, just by the feeling, like that's what an empath does. So then it vades into my conversation. It's the same when I'm interacting with people. Like if someone likes something, then it will get activated. And empaths are always denied in this society, like there's something wrong with us. Because in psychology, it's like you've got to have a really strong sense of self. Yeah. But the society thing was actually when we met 2 years ago, but I didn't remember who you were. You've got to remember that I speak to hundreds and hundreds of people. So when I first saw your photo, I didn't remember that, or your name. In fact, I thought that we were already friends. So the fact that you came as a person, I only remembered that after I'd said all the activism stuff. I is not psychic, I is an empath. It's different. I don't really know what psychic stuff is. I just feel people. They could be really similar, but I prefer saying empath because it sounds less special. Psychic's like, woo-hoo.